He meddled in things men should leave alone. He meddled in things men should leave alone.
What happened when, if you could? Question of the week here on A Girl's Guide. My name is Michelle A. Dalvest. I am a writer of feelings, a lover of humans, and I am obsessed with asking people questions that make them think about their lives and how they are showing up in the world. Question of the week is brought to you in partnership between A Girl's Guide and the Back to Us Radio Network. Now, this is not a voyeuristic experience. This only works when you all chime into the conversation. My favorite place to talk with you all is on Twitter. Find me at A Girl's Guide. That is AGURLZGUIDE. And use the hashtag AGGQOTW. Make sure that you come back week after week for this adventure in human perspective. Each of us are here for a reason. We all have a story to tell, an impact to make, and a legacy to leave. We all have a message to send. With all of the technology that we have invented, there are infinite ways to communicate with the world. From the news to social media to blogs, live streaming video, movies, music, text messages, video calls, and even the good old-fashioned phone call. We're in no shortage of ways to communicate. But have you thought about your personal contribution to the global conversation that is creating our legacy? That brings me to this week's question of the week. If you could send a message to the world, what would you say? I would tell the world that we need to be gentle with each other, that it's okay if we are all different and don't see eye to eye all of the time as long as we honor the human in each other, that our differences are gorgeously dynamic and rich with connection. I would encourage us to be easy with each other, but hard on systems that don't have our best interests at heart. And then I spoke to Rachel, a 22-year-old from North Carolina, and she had this message for the world.
If I could send the world a message, I would tell everyone to take a step back from themselves and even from the human race as a whole and look at themselves not as separate from nature, not something that's going to conquer nature. No amount of technology is going to alter your experience here on Earth, but as thinking of yourself and everyone around you as being part of nature, as a part of an entire living and breathing ecosystem, which is dependent on the every individual person and every group of people, and the respect for the environment and the human race and for animals as a whole. And basically we're all, I guess, roots of the same tree.
What about you? If you could send a message to the world, what would you say? You can join the conversation in a couple of ways. You can visit agirlsguide.org or backtousradionetwork.com and click on the link that says click here to join the conversation. You can submit an anonymous answer there. Or you can join us on Twitter and use the hashtag AGGQOTW. We are excited to hear from you, and it's very possible that we could include your answer in future episodes of Question of the Week or even on our blog at A Girl's Guide and the Back to Us Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in. We look forward to hearing from you, and please come back next week for Question of the Week. Oh, and P.S., next week is a special edition of Question of the Week. We are headed to New York City to be a part of the largest conference of bloggers in the world. Question of the Week will be at Blogger 15, Experts Among Us, presented by She Knows Media. AGG and Back to Us Radio will be sharing live from the conference and posting several 90-second interviews that I call mini-pods. Now, I won't normally share next week's question ahead of time, but since we are headed to Blogger, I wanted to give the attendees a chance to think about their answer. So, if you are headed to Blogger 15 next week in New York City, come and find me. I want you to answer this question. What are you holding on to that the world needs? Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see many of you next week in New York City.